In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Oh my word! Did I really put that on the screen? Yes, I did. Spoiler this Valentine's Day with a pair of moppers. Isn't that a lovely idea? Following on yesterday from all those lovely suggestions from the marvellous Katia Lima, beyond Lisbon's Katia Lima. Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you on this Feel Good Friday? Do let me know in the chat. Great advice coming in from Ian already. Shake off the shackles of others' expectations and do stuff that makes you smile, whether that's overdoing the Vinho Tinto or dancing till dawn. Have fun. And I tell you, we lost somebody from our family landscape yesterday, a great friend, Bronwyn Hewitt, MBE, if I just may say for a moment. Dear friend of ours passed away day before yesterday. We heard the news yesterday. A dear friend to us and a woman who gave me an amazing break in my life. In the last job that I worked at in the UK at the Dame Hannah Rogers Trust. And she took me on as a volunteer at first, and then we ended up living in this incredible site in Devon and doing all sorts of amazing stuff where I was working with people with disabilities, and we created the most amazing radio station. Now, this woman certainly did what Ian's talking about here and taught me to do the same. She unshackled me with the opportunity she gave me and my life and Louisa's life and our Digby, who she knew, our firstborn, who was born and lived on this site as well. She made a remarkable impact upon our lives. So remembering and loving and in awe of you, Bronwyn Hewitt. We raised a glass of red, which she was a bit partial to, and we got the Louise Pateau last night. It was a golden duck on the label, which she would have loved indeed. So she certainly unshackled me and encouraged me to be myself at work. Can you imagine that? What an opportunity to do what you love at work. So God rest your soul, rest in peace, and keep causing trouble from behind the scenes. Bronwyn Hewitt, MBE. Thank you, everybody. Just a quick moment to honour someone very special in our lives there. Yeah, but absolutely, Ian. Shake off the shackles of others' expectations and do stuff that makes you smile, whether that's overdoing the Vinho Tinto. We've all done that once in a while, haven't we? Or dancing till dawn. And that's what the show's about this morning. We're approaching Carnival season here in Portugal. All over the country, Portugal celebrating Carnival. Parades in their original format have been announced in major cities. We'll talk to Filomena about this after a long hiatus. Who doesn't? Well, nobody likes a long hiatus first thing in the morning, do they? I don't know, whatever turns you on. In the Algarve, festivities and floats are confirmed in Portimao, where they had a great meetup yesterday. Well done, Jack and Victoria. I've got a link for the Portimao meetup as well, in case you want to go to the next one. Yeah, Portimao, Albufeira and Lule, among others. There's quite a focus in the south, isn't there? Carnival this year falls on February the 21st. Celebrations take place over a long weekend from the 17th to the 22nd, and that will be a long weekend here in Portugal. Festa, Carnival season, well and truly back. T-Duck loving the mop flops. Thank you, T-Duck, for all your contributions this morning. Anna in as well. Owen Bayrandi. Thank you, Bayrandi, for your messages there. Sounds like one rebel celebrating another. Absolutely. That's exactly how it was yesterday evening in our house. And I think that will continue like Carnival. It will continue as well. The Lady of the Seven Skirts is here. There's an incredible carnival already. They're already limbering up and practicing for that, friends tell us, in Nazaré, just up the road. Ian's in, of course, with those wise words before. And loving the theme. I meant to send you a message yesterday, Coach Turner, to thank you for your angle this week. You've had a nice angle this week. A poignant and special angle this week, Coach Turner. Thank you very much for the mental health point of view this week. Great work as ever. In fact, let's play your. Did we play you? We played Raquel's promo, didn't we? We've got one from Big Phil. And we've also got Ian's as well. I can't see that at the moment, though, Ian. I'll play that another time. This is what Phil has to offer for us. I'll be playing these from time to time. The team meeting and greeting everybody. So here's Big Phil's.
Hi, my name is Phil Cooklin, and you can often find me on the third Friday of each month with Carl and Ian. And I talk a lot about how to find your treasure map through life and get whatever it is you're thinking of and what you'd like and have what you want. So come and join us, third Friday, Feel Good Friday. And Ian will grow old disgracefully, and I will show you how to build your own treasure map. Look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah, Pirate Phil and his treasure maps. Ha! And he joins Coach Turner on the Feel Good Friday, third of every month. And we'll have Bobby O'Reilly joining us in that slot as well. So that will be a lot of fun, I think, when those three gentlemen are on screen with me on the third Friday of each month. So let's look at Ian's God Squad tip of the day then, who joins Phil, third Fridays. This week I've been looking at how we can keep our heads in a good place. Yes, growing old disgracefully is what these tips are all about. So to wrap up the week, go and enjoy yourself and do exactly what I mentioned before. Shake off those shackles, folks. That's that Mary, isn't it? Take the shackles off my seat, not off my seat, so off my feet, so I can dance. I just want to praise you. I just want to praise you. Can I get a witness here this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show? Paul, Louise, and Lottie. Louise is here. Everybody, bon dia, Carl, Doros. Gumpers, thank you very much for your little flower, and of course Louise, a wonderful contributor to our gardening Q&A many a Monday through the winter, brightening our Monday evenings with beautiful blooms from her garden. Great to see you here this morning, Louise and Paul. How did the news go down with Paul, I wonder? Let's see what else is going on here in the chat this morning. Bon dia. I sounded like Stuart Speaks there. Just have a quick look at the chat now. What's going on over here? There's T-Duck coming in from Lisbon with a bon dia alegria gumpers and a feliz sexta feira. Deep thought of the day then. A foolish man tells a woman to stop talking, but a wise man tells her that her mouth is extremely beautiful when her lips are closed. You try that, because I'm not. Very good. That and the slippers, eh? Look, your mouth is extremely beautiful when your lips are closed, darling. And I've got you a present as well. I got you some mop flops for Valentine's Day. Here they are, in case you didn't see them at the beginning of the show. She'll love those, right? Not. What a combo. Let me know if you try that, if you try either of those today or in the next week. Let me know how it gets on. We'll come and visit you in hospital, maybe. Okay, Portuguese saying of the day. Oh, let me save this because we'll go through that with Filomena. Don't ask me to explain that one, says T-Duck. Okay, I won't. I will ask. We'll ask he who holds the eel by the tail and the woman by the word can say that nothing holds. Okay, we'll ask Filomena about that. Ugo Nuno is here, everybody. I haven't seen him for a while, have we? Where did Ugo Nuno? He's resting in the stack of pictures somewhere, along with this handsome gentleman. We haven't guessed yet. Who is that? The Guess the Gumper right there. Lots of pictures of pussies and pooches in there as well. I haven't had one of those for 24 hours. Send in your pictures of your pets as well, and we'll honour them on the screen. There he goes, Ugo Nuno. Fun facts and phenomena on the Good Morning Portugal show. Today's from T-Duck will be this marvellous place. Quickly scrolling back towards the other end of the picture deck to share with you these incredible and mystical pictures. What are these then? I should tell you. I'm so glad you asked. This is Ugo Nuno part 1 this morning. It's over 3 parts, like a cut out and keep series. Who knew? The Lore Silva of Madeira is Portugal's only natural UNESCO World Heritage Site. The other sites are cultural, also called the Laurel Forest. Let me just give you another picture of that. The Laurel Forest. Not that kind of laurel forest. It is a type of subtropical forest found in areas with high humidity and relatively stable, mild temperatures. It's like a proper full-on rainforest there in Madeira, doesn't it? The forest is characterized by broadleaf tree species with evergreen, glossy, and elongated leaves, known as chlorophyll or loroid. It looks fantastic in there. It looks like they might have filmed Lord of the Rings in there. Are you expecting people on horseback to come thundering through at any minute? Arrows flying, people tied to trees, all that sort of caper going on there. A merry band of men coming through with troubadours and hogs and chickens by their side and the clanking of tankards. That's a beautiful place. Thank you so much. Let me just go back and just remind you what that was called. That, of course, is the Lore Silva of Madeira there. Wow. That's going on my list. Madeira is definitely on my list. And going to that particular forest, I think, will be pretty special whilst we are there as well. Are we going to have some of these Gumper cruises, do you think? Wouldn't that be amazing one day if we have a Gumper cruise and we go to the Azores by boat and Madeira and pull into Lisbon and maybe go up to Porto? That would be incredible, wouldn't it? That would be truly incredible. Bom dia, Gumpers! Feliz sexta a todos, putting the sex in sexta-feira. That's us, the Gumpers, here on this Friday. Como estão? Tudo bem? You had a great day yesterday in Lisboa with a cank and honey. Joao F. Amelie was there as well. Fantastic. And the infamous Antonio F. Hopefully picks to follow. They are on other phones, not mine. Nice one, James. I'm glad you had a great time there. Superb. And yay, it's Friday. Have a great one, y'all, from Ian Turner with his Bedfordshire accent there. Have a great one, y'all. Who's that standing next to Filomena? So glad you asked. Have we got that picture in the picture deck? I'm not sure if we do. Oh, yes, I do. Here we go. We'll find out. I think the lady in the middle there, that's Filomena on the right with a moustache, of course. I don't know. That's probably her winter coat, facially speaking. And the lady in the middle, I think, is the carnival queen from Torres. Oh, which one is it? Is it Vedras or Novos? I can't remember now, but she'll tell us when she arrives, so don't worry about that. The webinar last night was superb. Understanding your tax obligations in Portugal. We'll get that up on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel very soon. Ricardo Chaves from AFM was astounding for nearly an hour. Well, yes, for an hour and a half. He was quite incredible. So that's something to look forward to. Oh, yeah, another mention as well of the karaoke and fun and mixer in Villa Real de Santo Antonio for the 16th of February there. We'll keep that in our picture day. What's this one say? How to fold a fitted sheet. We'll come back to, does anyone have, and do you fold fitted sheets? On a serious note as well, I've just seen this, which is very important to mention to you. The pictures coming from Turkey, Syria, Iran as well, I believe, affected by the earthquake. I don't think the news we see is a 360 degree, but certainly we get a sense of the horror of what's been left in the wake of the earthquake. There is something we can do. Frank and I are also working on reaching out people to people in those countries, possibly radio stations. You know, sometimes you get the feeling that I'm so sorry to cough all over you there. I didn't hit the cough button in time, the mute button, but sometimes you get the feeling, don't you, that the charitable donations run a gauntlet of administration and don't necessarily get to the people they're intended to go to. And I don't want to be churlish or picky about that. I mean, you know, if some of the money gets to where it's going, that's got to be better than none at all. I have something close to home to share with you. And I was prompted by this picture of this little lad who protected his brother's head under the rubble and greeted us with a smile. Rescuers finding these two little lads under the rubble there. It's just heartbreaking, isn't it, to see what's going on over there. Certainly here on the Silver Coast, the Associação MVC, Movimento Viver e Conselho, cannot remain indifferent to the tragedy in Turkey and Syria, they say. Natural disasters that happen without notice and remind us of our fragility. And that we need or can at any time to help each other, need to help each other. After contacting the Turkish embassy, this was sent to me by Jacqueline Branco, actually. After contacting the Turkish embassy, I think that was the MVC that did that here on the Silver Coast, and responsible for organising aid to Turkey in Portugal, Porto delegation, we asked what they needed and how we can help. Thus, we will be accepting the following goods over the coming weekend, February the 11th and 12th from 10 till 4. So they've got a collection point, I believe, in Caldas-Terrenya. That may be difficult, of course, for some of you to get to from other parts of the country, but you never know. Similar initiatives may be in place where you are. What's being collected, apparently, and shipped over to Turkey and Syria, hopefully gets to everybody who needs it, and we can transcend the political nonsense. So it's just people to people, for God's sake. Milk powder for all ages. Milk, potatoes. What is that? Is that like dry potato? Powdered potato, perhaps. Cans should not contain meat. Canned food. Infant toiletries, wipes and diapers and nappies. Men's and women's toiletries, which would include adult diapers in all sizes as well. Warm clothes, blankets, bedding. Bedding bags, or I guess that'll be sleeping bags. This is a translation, obviously. Only new items adapted to weather conditions. They don't want old clothes. I think that gives them a whole load of extra admin to do. New clothes, blankets and sleeping bags, I think, are okay. But certainly, clothes need to be in new condition. And the address to take those to in Caldas-Terrenya is Rua Enrique Salles, 36. There, but I'll put the link to the MVC if you want to deliver to Caldas. Thank you, everyone who wants to help. And it says, this is definitely a translation, my hair is fine, which in the original, I can't see that quite now. No, I'm not going to click on never. There may be a sign off in Portugal which says my hair is fine. But anyway, that's the way to help the people of Turkey and Syria if you're living on the Silver Coast and want to do something. That is going into the chat right now. The MVC organization in Caldas-Terrenya over here. Catherine's also in this morning. Thank you, Catherine, and thank you for your comments that I didn't get to about Chile recently. Where was that? Where we were talking about the harshness of some bureaucracies, weren't we? Oh, I think that was aimed at the Portuguese yesterday. I really enjoyed the mix of the Portuguese. He'll be back. And Katia Lima. She gave him what for, didn't she? And I really enjoyed that. I don't know if you did as well. Pete's in as well. A bumper cruise. Sounds an awful lot like the fishing expedition on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yes, exactly. Who is the Nurse Ratchet of our community, I wonder? Would she be coming with us, or would we be breaking from? Will she be just waving from the quay, I wonder, Pete? But I think it's got to be filmed, doesn't it? Because, I mean, that's going to be amazing. All of us stuck together on a boat for several weeks. Post birthday Boxing Day in Fundão means a cake with candles that will need the bomberos to put out for Andy today in Fundão. Bon dia alegria, parabéns to Lord Gilchrist as well. That sounds like good fun. I don't know. I'm reading these in the wrong order, which is not helping. Bon dia Gumpers from beautiful Odysseus. Is that how I pronounce that? Odysseus? Odysseus. I'm going to go with, and that's another pronunciation note I'm going to take from Filomena when she joins us at 9 o'clock as well. Who's this? T-Duck being called a coward inside. I've got to get to the bottom of this. Jared Shaped Box is also here this morning. Good to see you here, my friend, as well. And I've covered quite a lot of the comments so far, including who's that standing next to Filomena. She'll tell you herself, of course, Lady of the Seven Skirts. I'm clueless. That's, again, I think, referring to the lovely lady in the picture there with Filomena. And God Squad tips of the day are done. You see, I do need to work through these in sequence, don't I? In chronological order. It really helps. It's like a Sudoku I'm doing every morning here. Bon dia todos from Anna Olsen in the Algarve. I think in the Algarve. I'm pretty sure you are, Anna. Great to see you here this morning. My take on the Portuguese saying is that both eels and women are slippery and can't be trusted. My goodness, I hope that's not what it says. Bon dia, folks, from Ian as well. Owen and Ian, they do have the same root, I believe. I don't know why I said that, though, Owen. I'm just trying to cover my mistake there by coming up with some fancy Celtic etymological reference there. Okay, T-Duck. And besides, neither of us said it. The author did. We just wrote and read what the author said. Yes. Okay. Bon dia, Colin Gumpers from Belfast. Mild 4 degrees. Should be a settled, static week. High single figures, no rain, dry. Heavy air, full of houses using oil, gas, open fires to keep warm. I see the air made heavier. Not great for you with the asthma there. I hope you're okay, mate. And great job in your WhatsApp group. The one-man entertainer who he's entertaining people. Like, he seems like 24 hours a day in there, Deagle. Great job. If you want to be a part of Deagle's Daily Distraction WhatsApp group, let me know, and you can be added. He is incredible. He lives a very full life, and he still manages to be a WhatsApp-based entertainer a hell of a lot of the time. By Andy to Ian Turner, why do you specifically yay the weekend? Is it a habit, or do you still work full time? Got our village keep fit tonight. That's a good question, isn't it? That can be the habit of a lifetime. Yes, when you said coward, you misspelled diplomatic. Well said. I don't know. Antonio Barbosa gives women a run for their money. He does, yeah, €500 to be exact. Still available for hire, with extras, additional €500 units or chunks will give you extra benefits on Valentine's night. And that sounds lovely, Catherine, says Pete. I bet you have the most beautiful fish there. Odeseja, lovely Peja. And Owen with a comment as well. I finally managed to acquire an allotment space. I didn't know. It probably doesn't quite work in quite the same as it does in Manchester, does it? When you have to apply to allotment committee, and if you're lucky, your grandchildren will be awarded an allotment in 2 generations' time before you join us on allotment. Bit different, I guess. Here you would speak to. I'm sure there's a lot of Portuguese people who give you a little bit of their land, right, for in return for a few vegetables. From Ground to Plate YouTube series coming soon. Yes, nice one. I'm so excited to get my hands dirty again. So we've got some growing space. That's fantastic. Can we document it? Send us the pics, please, Owen, and we'll document you turning probably what looks like quite an indifferent piece of ground at the moment into an absolutely abundant place from which you can pluck fruit and vegetables in due course. That sounds wonderful. Well done. Applaud any growing of food. That's the wealth of the future, I believe, is the know-how and the actual the produce coming from allotments and the ground here in Portugal. That will be the currency of the future, won't it? As we turn our back on the governmental digital currencies. I bet they're outstanding, Catherine. Another place to add to our list of Portugal's fantastic places to go. I might have missed a bit in the middle there. Amazing initiative. My heart goes out to the Turks, says Jared there. And sad news with the passing of that wonderful songwriter. But yes, we lost Burt Bacharach, didn't we, in the last couple of days too? Was he 94? Good innings. And what an amazing legacy Burt Bacharach and Hal David have left us. This guy's in love. This guy's in love with you. Happy birthday, Carl. I see you're starting. Yes, I am. It's not till July, Bobby. I think we were talking about Lord Gilchrist there, but I'm happy to have a drink today in honour of my birthday. Morning to you, Bobby. How are you doing this morning? I think it was a Gumper cruise, not a bumper cruise. I think it's going to be a bit of both, isn't it? We need to have that ship that has got the bumper cars on it that go around at 0.5 kilometre per hour so as not to cause any damage to the boat or the people in the bumper cars, as long as it's not a Gimper cruise. Yes, Pete. Okay, then. Let's have a Munson's money moment, shall we? Portugal has been given billions of euros. Let's find out more in just a moment as we enjoy a Munson's money moment this morning. Big round of applause for all that money, all that filthy lucre there. And bringing onto the screen for you this article from the Portugal News. I've added a load of new news on the website, the right-hand column of the website. I carefully curate and select Portugal-related news, not too much of the heavy and really dark and negative stuff. And there's a little bit of that around at the moment, of course. The things that I think will be of interest to the Gumper community. So here we go with Munson's money moment today. 1.8 billion of the euros, talking about money this morning. The European Commission, the EC, has paid Portugal the second tranche of 1.8 billion euros of the Resilience and Recovery Plan, the PRR. How does this work, I wonder? Does the Bank of Portugal have a wire transfer of 1.8 billion? If there's a little bit of resentment between the two organizations, do they deliver it in 1 cent pieces onto the steps of the bank? There's your stinking money. I don't know. How does it work? How does 1.8 billion get delivered from the EC to Portugal? And not, as one wag put it in the comments here on the Portugal News, straight into the back pockets of the politicians. How dare you say such a thing like that? I'm sure that's not true. The payment of 1.8 billion was possible thanks to Portugal's fulfillment. They had to tick a few boxes here. Was possible thanks to the fulfillment of the 20 milestones. It's like getting your pocket money, isn't it? Have you swept the yard? Have you? And objectives related to the second tranche. It's getting technical and difficult here, isn't it? The European funds represent 1.7 billion in grants and 109 million in loans. So it's not really a gift then, is it? Oh, it does say received. It's not given. It's kind of received, which is slightly different. And the distinction is there. Almost a billion of it. No, that's not right. Sorry, over 100 million of it in loans and the rest in grants. Oh, and they're non-refundable. Okay. Portugal submitted the request for payment of this second check from Brussels on September the 30th last year. Can we all do this? After Brussels gave the green light to the payment in December, and the calendar moved to the first quarter of this year. Is everyone keeping up with this? This is the third PRR disbursement that Portugal will receive. In August 2021, the European Commission delivered 2.2 billion from the PRR. I hope they're keeping the receipts for this. 13% of the total 13.9 billion grants and 2.7 billion loans that the country will receive by 2026 in the form of an advance. It's like being Portugal, the rock and roll band. They've got their advance. They've just got to deliver the album now. A practice common to all member states except 7 that started the process later, and therefore there was no advance payment. The second, don't worry, this is the last paragraph now. The second tranche of 1.16 billion was requested in January. These are astronomical amounts of money, aren't they? When you talk about them at this level, it becomes quite meaningless. But I'm sure it's all being put to good use. Approved in March and paid in May, Portugal was thus in possession of 20.2% of the total PRR. Now, with the third tranche, Portugal has received 31% of the total. Well, thank God for that. Let's hope it's used wisely and widely. That 1.8 billion from Europe, which was today's Munton's Money Moment in association with the Spartan FX, who will help you. Oh, I put the wonderful testimonial from James. I clipped that out of Monday's show. If you want to find out how warm and fuzzy people feel using Spartan FX, just go watch James's clip in our YouTube channel after the show, not now. Thank you, everybody who's subscribed as well. We're up to 950. We're nearly there. We're towards the last 50 people, subscribers, that we need to get 1,000 subscribers and monetize over there on the YouTube channel. Every little bit helps to keep the show on the road here, especially after the taxation situation I find myself in. Actually, on that note, it's an ongoing drama, the whole taxation thing. It's not my birthday this morning. It's really not my birthday, but thank you anyway. That rumor has escaped into the Gumper community, and now I'm being wished a happy birthday. It's Lord Gilchrist's birthday that is being celebrated. Okay, talking of taxation, and hot from the webinar last night with Ricardo Chaves, we're launching the Portugal Business Club on this coming Tuesday. Okay, so 9 o'clock in the evening, this coming Tuesday, we'll do the Portuguese Business Club, which will address all areas of financial life, running a business, especially for those that might want to do that. We'll look at investments. We'll look at a lot of things to do with money and livelihood and wealth on the Portugal Business Club, which I'll be starting next Tuesday evening at 9. And we'll also have a Hello America show this Saturday. Well, for you Americans, this Saturday evening. For us, me and Mrs. M will be up at 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday doing another one of those, because those are being enjoyed and are being found useful. So we'll be delighted to be in your company again. It's reasonable time for Americans tomorrow evening. Yes, tomorrow evening for us, the early hours of Sunday. Looking forward to Filomena. She's such a phenomenon. But back write that as well. So happy she's helping me learn Portuguese, it says Gerard. And she has just joined us. So without further ado, that is perfect timing, Filomena. Looking forward to her joining. She is the phenomenon, and Gerard is very happy to have you help him. Let's bring her onto the screen now. Filomena Friday. Good morning to you.
Olá, bom dia, Alegria. Bom dia, Carlitos.
I love it when you say that. And bon dia, querida, as well to you.
Obrigada, bom dia.
We've got so much video to play this morning. Carnival season is happening, isn't it, in Portugal? You've got, I think, the wonderful picture of you. This has created a bit of a stir, Filomena, this picture of you with your moustache and the lovely little lady in the middle as well.
Yeah, Annie.
Okay.
Annie Hamilton Gibney, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not
You
in
remember Annie?
remember
Annie when she had a small video made on the Jurupiga Day. Remember São Martinho? And she said that sentence. No dia de São Martinho, vá adega para o vinho.
Yes, she did. That's right. But here you are with a rose between two roses, right?
Yes, a lovely lady.
Indeed. And we'll find out the mystery of who that is a little bit later on, because we've got some catching up to do, haven't we? You have been celebrating in Miranda Do Corvo. I've got those, I've got the firework display, I've got the procession through the streets, I've got all sorts. Can I
Although nothing to do with carnival, that one, okay?
No, that's Festa. No. Festa rather than carnival,
right?
Okay. Well, not Festa. It was a religious, your annual
Yes, it's Festa. Festa de São Sebastião. Festa de São Sebastião.
Okay, excellent stuff. All right, and let's begin. I don't know if I've got these in the right order. And quite frankly, Filomena, you nearly broke the internet with the amount of video you sent me on this. We will make our way through these. Let's begin. Let's get in the party mood with this. Isn't that great? And then they end up. It's the same band inside, isn't it? So you know things are starting to happen at San Sebastián and Miranda do Corvo when you start hearing the band, right?
Yes, I mean that's what we hear for 5 days in a row.
Is it really?
Yes.
To get you in the mood.
Yes, it's usual to have that kind of group in every village and every town in Portugal. When we have a festa to celebrate, we usually have a group of bagpipers and drummers that go, in the streets and play during the day for everybody.
Yeah, superb. And so the party got started with those folks. And we heard from you because you weren't as directly involved in it this year as you have been previously. The year you were involved, there was a little bit of damage to the sacred the sacred centerpiece.
Yeah, well, okay. Yes, Pete keeps reminding me of that.
Okay, all right, let's move on then. And I need to find out from you if you won the live ram, because we found that out last time we spoke.
Yeah, unfortunately, the organizers this year, they have, they are too young. They are.
Yes,
yeah,
they're
young.
Woke. The woke committee have changed it.
They wanted to update the tradition, and they did. So now the tradition, at least this year, has gone. And we haven't had a ram as a first prize for the raffles. We had an electric scooter.
That is drastic. That is a very drastic break in tradition.
So sad. I mean, to replace a live ram by an electric scooter.
You can't make soup out of an electric scooter, can you? However hard you try.
No, you can't.
Okay. And can I ask, just behind the scenes, and you may or may not want to comment on this, but with that sort of break in tradition, how did it go down? Were some people grumbling and grumpy about that?
Well, my husband did.
And then he didn't win it, did he? Because that would add insult to injury, wouldn't it?
No, we didn't win anything. No.
Oh, really?
But my husband, when he knew, and they said, "Oh no, they did that."
No. Outrageous, disgraceful.
Yeah.
So that's a controversial change, isn't it? Not even gradual, really. It's so. Presumably, in years gone by, somebody who was in a very happy party mood could have ridden the ram home, which I suppose you can do with an electric scooter. There is some sort of comparison there.
Yeah. Well, the organizers said that this year lots of people started to say, "But who wants a live ram?" Nobody
Yes,
wants to win
it's
a
a fair
live
question.
ram.
It's a fair
And
question. Yeah, Philomena's husband does. That's who.
yeah, well, it's a tradition. It's a tradition,
Yes.
and because it was a tradition, a long, long time tradition. So, of course, the old folks we like to keep our traditions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But the younger people probably not.
And I can imagine, 5 days of partying. You wake up on day 6, and there's a ram in bed with you, and you think,
Could
"What?
happen.
Oh, I must have won the raffle! Yay!"
Could happen. Yeah.
It could happen,
But
couldn't it? It could
now
happen.
you wake up with an electric scooter.
That's uncomfortable. That's really not as comfortable. I would guess. Not that I've done either of those things.
Neither have I.
No. We just want to set the record straight there. Neither
Yeah.
Philomena nor I have woken up with an electric scooter or a ram, a big old hairy woolly ram in bed. Okay, superb. Great to see you here, Philomena. And of course, you join us to answer questions about the Portuguese language.
Yes, I'm waiting.
And sometimes we have too much fun and we forget that. But that is one of the principal reasons why Filomena joins us here on Filomena Friday once a month. She is also the creator of legendary tours, and you can find out more or join the waiting list for those tripsforbrits@gmail.com and become another happy customer like Gerard is, it would appear, learning Portuguese online or even popping into the shop front there in Miranda Do Corvo.
Yeah, Gerard is coming to my office, yes.
Okay, and it features in one of the videos, so you will get to see the shop front in one of Philomena's videos later on. I think that's maybe the nighttime procession one of many that we will be sharing with you.
Yeah, but it's not for you to show every video. It was just for you to see.
I have made a selection, and it's really hard for me to say yes to that one and no to that one. But I've got a little bit of a selection. We've got something for everybody from the selection of videos that you sent. Our Portuguese saying of the day. You'll be proud of us, Filomena. We do this every day, thanks to T-Duck.
Yes, I've read it. I've read it.
What do you make of this? Is this as bad as it sounds?
I think so.
Get rid of it. Who would say something like that? I don't know. Is it...
I don't. I've never heard that saying.
Really?
But okay.
So we're moving on, and we're putting it in possibly in the same bucket as the Valentine's suggestion of these. The spoil her this Valentine's Day with a pair of moppers. I don't suppose you'd be too impressed if your husband, who we've talked about quite a lot this morning already, gifted you with those. But they are made with real ram's wool. That would be another. Okay. Rob, did you have something on your mind specifically that's been coming up among students with the language aspect of the show this morning?
No, nothing. I mean, of course, there are lots of different questions every day, but
Yes.
no, nothing very specific for today. Just because of earlier, you were not sure about the word Odysseus, right?
Yes.
But I think first you pronounced it correctly and then a bit differently. But yes, Odysseus.
That's often. I have three goes, and one of them will be right.
Yeah, but it's Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Yeah.
And that'll be. I think that's near Sesimbra, unless they've moved again. But that sounds like a place known for its fish. But then again, so many places aren't they, here in Portugal?
Yeah.
We have a request already, Filomena. We would, well, the lady of the seven skirts would like to talk about.
And by the way, do you know where the lady of the seven skirts is from?
Nazaré, I thought.
Ah, okay, very good.
Just
Muito
up the road
bem,
from me.
muito bem.
Oh no! Thank you. I love it when I go up there and I see some of the older ladies sporting that tradition, and it's thoroughly. I mean, it's so great that people do that because you just feel like, yeah, Nazaré is honouring its history and traditions here, and as well as the sales, more in the modern context, it's all about the surfing, isn't it? But it's an incredible fishing town.
Yeah.
And these ladies of the seven skirts, I think, are involved partly, the reference, the historical reference.
They used to count the waves by the seven skirts. One wave, one skirt, one wave, one skirt.
Oh, okay. And it's really practical, as I was saying, I think, in the last couple of days. You've got a number of layers there to keep warm. You also, if you get splashed with fish juice or whatever, you can take one of them off. It's very practical, isn't it? And just a lovely thing to see.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
All right.
It's also one of the traditions from Portugal. Yeah.
All right. So 2 questions now. We're also going to be talking about frango, it would look like, and galinha. That's a great question. But first one to come in
Yeah.
was from the
Eish.
Lady of the Seven Skirts. Aish, what's going on here?
Aish. Yes. Aish is when you want to present something, and in English you can say, here it is, right? And then you can say, Aish, for example, Aish, o cantor, here is the singer, something. So you want to introduce to the stage, for example, someone, or, you want to present something, and then you can say Aish, and then who, right?
Okay, that's
So
great.
that is, here is something or
I
someone.
need to know that, because if ever I manage to MC an event, a live event, I might say, or even you this morning, I could say, E agora, Aish Filomena.
Aish Filomena.
Yes, brilliant. And then a big round of applause. Fantastic. Now, how is it different to the announcement? Because
H-A?
Yes,
The H-A,
yes,
right?
similar, isn't it? It's similar.
No, not really, because I'm always disagreeing.
Yes,
So,
it's fine.
it means there is or there are. So, you can say, há espetáculo hoje. There is a show today.
Yes.
Is just there is or there are. Even when we say expressions like há muito tempo, which in English you have to translate a long time ago, but we don't say a long time ago. When we say há muito tempo, we really say there is a long time, right?
That's a
So
lovely phrase.
a long time ago, which means there was a lot of time between that time and now. So there is a long time. That's the way we say it. We don't say a long time ago.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm learning lots of beautiful phrases. I mean, that's another one for my Portuguese voiceover career, isn't it? Há muito tempo. At the beginning of a video, you can hear it, can't you? Há muito tempo. And yes, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Beautiful. And Ace here, thank you for asking that. Very good. And so a little bit like voila, perhaps?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
exactly. Muito bem, Carlitos.
Muito bem! Yes to me! There's still time for me to get thoroughly embarrassed. But so far, so good. Excellent. That's a great question. All right, let's go on to the next one then from Deagle. Just recently, I came across frango and galinha, 2 completely different words for chicken. Can you explain, please, Filomena?
Yes, I think we have already explained that before. Frango is a young chicken, and galinha is a hen, right? An older chicken.
Yes.
So essentially, that's the difference. Frango is a young chicken, and galinha is a hen.
And generally speaking, when you're going to the churrasquera, you will be talking
It's frango.
frango.
Yes, because I mean, to grill, you are not going to grill an old chicken, are you?
Takes us back to soup. Takes us back to soup, doesn't it? And
That's right. That's right. If you have canja, for example, our Portuguese canja is a chicken soup, but it's made with chicken, not with. Oh, okay. If you don't have a chicken, maybe it's a young chicken will do. But you better have a galinha, right? Galinha is better to make soup because it's older. It is, a bit more fat and everything. But if you want to grill, for example, or even to do other dishes, it's better maybe frango because it's tender.
Yes, and absolutely, and that's what we love. The grilled chicken that we love is the frango. And for us more mature people, we can always use that phrase, can't we? Old chicken makes good soup, can't you? You can just say that poignantly. It's a very good metaphor. Old chicken makes good soup. Okay, there you go, Deagle. Let's have a look.
But Carl, we are still frango. We are still frango.
Yes, absolutely. All right, fair enough. We are still. That's a great phrase as well. I'm going to get a t-shirt with that on. I'm still frango. And do Portuguese people use that as a kind of metaphor? Frango or galinha? Probably not.
Probably not.
All right, super. Keep those questions coming in, if you will. Canja, yeah, the chicken soup. Oh, canja.
Actually, in the area of football, in football context, of course, when we say que frango, it means that it means that the goalkeeper was not successful to defend the ball, and if it was really stupid of him not to get the ball, we call him frango. That was frango.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
good. What fantastic value already this morning. Only 9:15, and we're learning so much. Just for fun, when in the future it becomes dakia, hat for past. Okay, could you decode that for us as well, Filomena?
The kia, yes. The kia means literally from here to. So, for example, if you want to say, I'll be back in 5 minutes, you say, eu volto daqui a 5 minutos. Daqui a 5 minutos means literally from here to 5 minutes. So, in 5 minutes. Daqui a 5 minutos. Then you can say that with any time. So you can say daqui a 2 anos, in 2 years. Daqui a 1 hora, in an hour, etc. And of course, for the past, because it's 20 anos, 20 years ago, right?
Yes, very good. Thank you for that, Lady of the Seven Skirts. In English, we can use chicken to mean afraid or cowardly. So I suppose in Portuguese, it's more running around like a little chicken rather than being afraid like a chicken. That's interesting. And a bad goalkeeper can be called a franguero.
Yes, a bad goalkeeper, yes.
Oh, I feel so bad for goalkeepers sometimes. And
they are all chickens,
Oh, it's such a shame, isn't it? Because, it can only go one way or the other, really, when you're a goalkeeper, right? You're either doing well or doing badly. And there's very little in between, it would seem, for goalkeepers and frangueros, as we now refer to them. Let's have a look at a bit of video then this morning. Oh, and that just before we leave this particular topic of frango, isn't that a Portuguese saying, an old chicken makes good soup? I first heard of it from my stepfather, who was a bit of a rascal in his younger days. And I think he told me about a time in America when he was having a Mrs. Robinson moment in America. And I think that's what he was told. An old chicken makes good soup. I'll move on. And we'll look at some video here from Miranda Do Corvo and the Festa de San Sebastian. When was this celebrated?
January, around January the 20th every year. Yeah. Always around the 20th of January.
Third weekish of January of the new year, or every year.
But don't forget, we are supposed to speak about Carnival today, okay?
Oh, definitely. No, but you're going to let me play these videos, aren't you? Of the good times that were had.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. You can.
We'll definitely make sure there's time for Carnival. Yes. Okay. So the band, we saw them coming along the street, and now let's see them making a fine sound inside a building.
So if you were not awake until now you are for sure.
Definitely are, aren't you? That's as good as a cup of coffee in Portugal, isn't it? Where were they there? They're inside the market hall?
Inside the town hall of Miranda do Corvo.
Okay, letting everybody know, hear ye, the festa begins. The band are in the building. Okay, so that's part of the warm-up. And then we find ourselves in a bit of a procession on the street here, folks. Filomena, I love that sound so much. I really do. It really moves me at a
So
deep level.
I'm sorry for my dog that was barking a little bit.
They have to get used to that, don't they?
But yeah, that was so they passed in front of my house on a Sunday morning.
Really?
Yes, and
How inconsiderate.
there was someone teaching online, right? An English person who was teaching online. And all of a sudden, a whole band passed in front of my house.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What a beautiful sound that is. Superb. And it definitely just gets you in the mood, doesn't it? For some of the solemnity of the Festa as you move towards the party bit. Sounds like Scots on a Portuguese beach. I guess, yeah.
Why a Portuguese beach?
I think it was probably the maybe the bagpipers that are being referred to there as well. Oh, superb. Absolutely love it. And then we become a little bit more ceremonial later on in the whole sort of celebration here. And this, we're coming down the street here. We've got a couple of processions for you. This is the first. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And it's just part of the rich tapestry of life in Portugal that, you know, at different times of the year, you're hearing different sounds and being invited to different events. It's the punctuation of the culture, isn't it, of life here? So absolutely wonderful.
I just want to refer that those are two philharmonic bands. The first one was the philharmonic band from Pedrógão Grande.
Oh, really?
Yes, from Pedrógão Grande. And the second one was the philharmonic from Miranda do Corvo.
Incredible. Really good job there. And I missed the greetings to you. So let's just catch up on those. Bom dia, Filomena from Antonio F.
Olá, bom dia, António.
From Owen.
Filomena Friday.
Olá, beijinho, Owen.
And Filomena as well from the lady of the Seven.
Filomeninha.
Sorry, I missed those earlier on. And Pete's greeting to you. He sent you a very big message, which you can mark a bit later on. But so
Pete was here with me to watch those processions and everything. It was Pete who was teaching on that day when the Philharmonic went.
Oh, really? And a nice big ice cream as well. Is it famous for its ice cream?
No, not ice cream here. Oh. No.
No.
Gelado, of course. Gelado can be an ice cream. You are right, but here, começo gelado means a cold start. It was a cold start in Miranda do Corvo, right?
Yes,
so, it was a bit cold. If he's asking about this morning, it was a bit cold, but not too much. No, but
it's just the time of year, isn't it?
I like to have my scarf.
Okay, yes. Bom dia. You've got to look after your voice, of course, haven't you? It's a tool of your trade, so you have to wear a scarf occasionally. Bom dia todos, pessoas bonitas.
Pessoas bonitas with an S as well.
Pessoas
bonitas.
That's right. The ram in bed with you in the morning is only after the disco. It does keep you It sounds like Pete has tried this, perhaps.
Well, we have been not in a disco, but we have been in a dancing ball. But Peter hasn't danced one single music.
Really? Okay. So we need
Very
to,
disappointed. I'm very disappointed with him.
even after all the jalapiga and the local wine, he's still not throwing any shapes. Okay. They could have tried an electric ram first. A scooter is such. You're right, Gerard. You're right. This is the problem, isn't it? When people mess with
Yeah,
tradition,
yes, they could.
they need to do it progressively, steadily.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've caught up a little bit with some of what has been said. Keep those questions coming in about the Portuguese language, of course. Bond, you just arrived today to hear the band. What a lovely way. It was for you, especially, Bob. You were welcomed by a brass band.
Yes.
Banda da Música in Ponte Lima is phenomenal. They keep an incredible schedule. And there's talk as well of the Celtic influence, I think.
Yes, it was, of course.
Yeah. And that's why I think the lady of the Seven Skirts was talking about Scots on a
The Scots on the Portuguese beach.
yeah, and the Scottish influence. Moaz is here as well with us. It's lovely to see you here, Moaz. Watched my daughter many times doing this, playing in a banda philharmonica as well by Randy's daughter. Well done. And the bagpipes were played by many ancient cultures, including Eastern, but only retained by Scots and preceded by Celts there.
And retained by Portuguese as well.
Yes. Who's Peter? Says the lady. Pete Bleach, that is. Solar Life.
Solar
Pete.
Life. Solar Pete. He's Solar Pete.
Kate Gimblett is here. Okay. Kate, we haven't seen you for a while. This is another question about the Portuguese language. Do people really say it? Should I say this?
I've never heard it. I don't know. Ele come gelado com a testa.
No, maybe stick with franguero rather than
I don't know.
gelado head.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a saying, but I've never heard it. No.
What would that mean? Literally, he's like an ice cream.
Eats ice cream with his forehead.
Oh, coma.
Ele come. He eats.
Oh, I see. Sort of
ice cream with his forehead. But I've never heard the saying, but I don't know.
Yes, we've got a ringtone request here. I just love Filomena's laugh. It spreads joy in the world. We need it as a sound effect. Maybe I'll be able to extract it from one of the shows and display it for you whenever you want to, Moaz. Okay, so let's conclude.
No use moaning, right? It's no use moaning over things. No.
Nobody wants to hear that, do they?
No.
Except other moany people. Kind of, because they kind of gather together, but not here.
No.
Not here. Okay, all right. I've got some,
and I keep reminding Carl, we are here to speak about carnival.
All
right?
Shall I not play any more of Miranda Do Corvo? Okay. What I'll do is later on I'll just play a little bit of the dancing at the end and the firework finale. So we will have a firework finale, courtesy.
Okay, the firework is good for the finale. Yeah.
I know you want us to move on to Carnival, and we've got a few events from by Randy as well from the Gumper map. I'll share those at the end of the show with the firework display. You're quite right, Filomena. It's 9:30. We better get on with it and talk about Carnival. We're going to solve this mystery and talk about this. Your carnival coming up at Miranda Do Corvo.
Of course, yes.
Tell us all about it. How important is this?
Well, to start with, of course, when a Portuguese thinks of carnival, of the month of February, we think of carnival. You might, as an American or as a British, you might think of Valentine, for example, or something. But February for us, it means carnival, right? So, of course, we have the carnival in Brazil, and that is a huge event. But in Portugal, it's also very popular. So we have different kinds of carnival festivals throughout the country. And so, for example, you have the caretos, that
the little guy. Hold on a minute. I'm
like
going to give
this,
you. Let me just take.
No,
that.
you can.
Oh,
you can have both.
Oh, okay. Let him stick his head around the corner there for a minute. Hello.
Right. Yeah.
There he is.
So you have this careto, right? The careto, which is typical from it is a UNESCO World Heritage. Since 2019, and the Careto is from the village of Pudense, in the district of Bragança, Macedo Cavaleiros, Bragança, and they are this outfit is very heavy and very colorful. Very warm, of course, because in the north is a bit colder.
Yes.
And they have a mask, so they always have a mask, like the one that is in the poster and here.
Yeah.
Usually made of metal or of wood. Usually it's wood, but also can be made of metal. And so this outfit is very colorful because it's to celebrate the arrival of spring. So spring will be here soon, and they have these bells. You see these bells tied around the waist.
That's right. And they shake their booty, don't they?
Yes, they shake the bells, and they shake the girls as well. Remember last year
I have seen that.
I've already spoken about that. Right?
I was a little bit embarrassed about that.
They can grab a girl and shake the girl, and of course it's for the boys to have a little bit of fun, and the girls as well.
Yes,
so all of this, the noise that they make, a lot of noise. I've sent you a picture this morning, not to confuse you a lot. I've sent you a picture of some caretos running in the street, because this is what they do at Carnival. They run around, they make a lot of noise with the bells to scare away the bad things from winter. So bad spirits, go. We are arriving at spring, we don't want winter anymore. Right?
Well, actually, it's a bit of both, isn't it? It's chasing away the evil spirits, but also they are feeling the sap rising as well, aren't they?
That's right. That's the picture. Very well. Yeah. So they run. They make a lot of noise with the bells, and they are very cheerful to in that sense of getting away from the bad thoughts of winter, from the bad things of winter, the cold and everything, and to celebrate the arrival of spring.
That is a superb picture. Is that your own picture, Filomena?
No, it's not. It could be, but no.
That is a superb picture. I absolutely love that. Whoever took that, thank you so much. We can't give you credit, but it is just seeing them running down the street. Like a lot of them haven't got their feet on the ground.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you can feel the movement in that picture.
Yeah, picture.
So that is one lovely carnival from Portugal. And this year, if you are not in the north, if you are around Miranda do Corvo, you can see them in Miranda do Corvo on the 21st of February. So if you come to Miranda do Corvo near Coimbra, okay? Miranda do Corvo, if you come to Miranda do Corvo on the 21st of February at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, in the square before the town hall, so just in front of the town hall, you can see them also if you are not in the north and if you don't have the chance to go to the village of Pudense. So it's a good opportunity to see a UNESCO World Heritage. Okay,
absolutely. And this is part of your 4 days of Carnival.
This is part of our Carnival festival. Yeah.
Look at that. What happens on the 20th? Do you have a rest?
Yes, of course. It's Monday, and we have to we have to have a rest from the other days. But we celebrate mainly on Sunday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's superb, isn't it? And this is happening all over, because I did mention.
Yes. It's for example, I would like to refer some places. If you are in Portugal, some places you could go to. So, for example, Pudense, of course, it's the Caretos. Then you could go to Ovar, for example, in the north, and starting from the north, you can go to Ovar, you can go to Estarreja, for example, where you have also big parades. That's right. And I have sent you a picture as well with some ladies about yes, that's right. So, for example, in those parades like Ovar, Estarreja, also in the Algarve, in Lolé, you can see parades like this with some ladies and men as well, and children, everybody
Yep.
make with floats as well. So
Incredible.
then coming a bit further down in Mielhada near Coimbra, you can also see such a parade.
I didn't know Miliada had one. That's where you can get
Mielhada, yes,
Leitão
Mielhada,
as well, isn't it?
yes,
You
the
go in
Leitão,
and
yes, the Bairrada, yes. In Mielhada, you can also see a parade like that. In Sesimbra, for example, and then Torres Vedras. Torres Vedras is another kind of festival. That's the picture. My picture was in Torres Vedras, right?
Yes.
In 2018. And there was the question, who is that beside Filomena? Well, as someone said, it was the winner of the contest that year. Yes, it was the winner of Metrafonas 2018. Metrafonas 2018.
Incredible.
So, and what is a metrafona?
Yes,
You may
good
ask.
question.
Metrafona is obviously a man dressed up as a woman, but not just dressed up as a woman. It must be a very sexy
I hope
woman,
so,
right?
yes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I have sent you a couple more, of pictures for you to show other metrafonas.
Okay, let
For
me just
people
find
to
those. Thank
yeah,
you,
you
Andy.
have
If you go to our Gumper map, Andy's so busy behind the scenes there, and he's created links to the carnivals that are coming up. Just a quick spelling issue. It's Carnaval with an A, isn't it, and not an I in Portuguese?
in Portuguese, yes. After my idea was, after speaking about the places, I could go into some vocabulary. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that is another example of sexy metrafonas.
Well, you say that.
And
Okay.
I have sent you
Right.
another picture
Yes.
of metrafonas.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's a bit more like it. I do like a bit of leopard print.
so if you
Metrafonas.
want to see these lovely metrafonas,
Yes.
you go to Torres Vedras, right?
Yes.
And in Torres Vedras you can see these metrafonas, beautiful metrafonas,
And
very sexy.
a lot of partying, right? I mean, Nazare.
A lot of partying, of course,
Yes.
and also music at night. Of course, in Portugal we have lots of music at night, right? So
all night, right?
sometimes all night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
indeed. Yeah, that's
And
what
so
I'm
you
doing.
can dance, you can have fun, you can drink, you can, we have a saying that we
Go
have a
home with a
saying.
ram.
There is a saying. No ram. There is a saying. A vida são 2 dias e o carnaval são 3. I'm going to
Okay.
repeat slower.
Yes.
A vida são 2 dias e o carnaval são 3.
Okay.
Do you want me to write it?
Yes, I'd love to. I'd love you to write it. Yes,
A
please.
vida
I'm busy downloading
são
other
2
things as well.
dias
Thank you, Andy, for your wonderful
e
contributions as well.
o carnaval.
I'll put onto the screen one of the
Três.
carnival events that you very kindly have included on the Gumper map, and I'll put the link to the Gumper map too. Great job, Andy. Fantastic. And we've also got this, of course, now from Filomena. I'm going to copy that and paste that onto your screens now. So do your Portuguese homework now, folks. It's going onto the screen. Okay, so there it is on the screen right there now. Thank you for that, Filomena.
So, a vida são 2 dias e o carnaval são 3 means, Carlitos, I'm going to put you
a life with is it like life with 2 days?
That's right. Muito
Yes,
bem, Carlitos.
It's made 3 days with the carnival.
No. Life is just 2 days.
Yes.
Short. Life is short, right?
Yes.
Life is 2 days. And carnival, 3 days. It's 3
Yes,
days. So
yes.
life is short, but carnival, lasts for 3 days. So,
Carnival adds life, basically.
yes.
what we're
Yes. So
saying.
you should have fun. And so sometimes it's more than 3 days. As you have seen on our poster, it starts on Friday. But yes, it's usually from Friday to Tuesday. You have plenty of parties.
Yeah, there's the Meliada one.
Next weekend, by the way, it's next weekend, right?
Incredible. So an incredible weekend coming up. On a more practical basis, Filomena, does that mean that government offices will be closed from next Friday to next Monday, including those days?
No,
Okay.
Tuesday is not
Yes.
an official. It is not an official holiday, although the government usually gives that day off because everybody or almost everybody goes to either to participate in the parades or to watch the parades, right?
Or they're
So
hungover.
lots of
There's
people,
no
lots
point.
of people don't go to work. So
Yes.
the government sometimes decide, well, we better have a day off because nobody goes to work anyway. So
Exactly. I mean, no one's going to be productive, are they? So they might as well just
no.
not bother. frankly.
Yes, and I'm going to participate in the parades as well. Okay.
Good, excellent. What have you got yourself a nice sort of carnival, glittery carnival setup, or are you keeping it a secret?
It's a secret. It's still
It's
a
a
secret.
secret until the day. Quite right, too. There you go.
Yeah.
Go to the Gumperverse section of Good Morning Portugal's website and see Andy's incredible inclusions. There may be other people who've added things as well, but really Andy is our mainstay. And thank you again to Sarah for setting up in the first place, who's going to Podence.
Oh, good.
From Stubal up to Podence, any particular hints about attending? An insider's guide. How should they go about attending this festival for best possible results, Filomena?
Well, in the village you have plenty of things going on, and they at the end of the festival they burn a huge like a Guy Fawkes, right? A huge Guy Fawkes, let's say, a huge careto, and you can see the program, right? The program that the poster that they always do, and
Yeah.
see what's going on. But there are lots of things you can go in and have a drink and eat in the stalls and things like that. Yeah.
So no need to worry. Just make your way there and let your hair
Yeah.
down and enjoy yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Lots of
And
music for sure.
yeah, and it will be kind of crowded. But what I've noticed at Portuguese events, they're not overcrowded or too intense. It's just really nice and convivial, and a great community buzz. I'm sure it'll be very well managed, like all Portuguese festas I've ever been to are extremely well managed, because it's the work of the committee, isn't it? And the people who know and love the town, it's their own place, and they're showing it off.
Yes, and it's always a community organization. For example,
Yeah.
speaking about Miranda do Corvo, where I live, there are nine local groups that are participating in this parade. The two parades. We have a parade on Sunday next week, and then we have a parade on Tuesday. And the 9 different groups from the community. So, for example, a group from the firemen, a group from Casa do Povo, which is the local sports and cultural event organization. We have other, little from the small villages also, people from that village or that village. So they get together, they organize a dance or something to present, and then we are going to have this parade here in the main square, and we are going round the square twice for people to see it well.
Oh, excellent. Good.
Right. So we are going to be here twice, and people can have fun, and of course it's carnival. We say é carnaval, ninguém leva a mal. É carnaval, ninguém leva a mal, which is basically it's carnival, so you can't be offended by anything, right?
What a brilliant message for the whole world. Like, let your hair down, be open-minded and just let it all wash over you, right? Interesting, surrounded by interesting points of view. Jared Shapebox, so much fun. Can't wait to experience my first carnival in Portugal. Well done, Jared. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun. Carrying on with from Sarah's suggestion or question, actually, and your suggestions. Antonio also has one. You can visit the Barragem do Azibo.
Oh yeah, yes.
Right in front of Podence. Visit the Casa de Careto in Podence and have some good meat dishes. Now, this is somewhere maybe where you can help
Yep.
Yeah, the dam is better in the summer.
Of course.
That's an important point with vegetarians. Should we
But the dam is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. So you can go and visit anyway. Not
As a
to swim, but you can go and visit.
Okay, but in the summer you can swim.
Yes, in the summer you can, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
now. I mean, you can swim now. It's a bit
Yes.
freezing, but
All right. So vegetarians at Pudence, they'll still be able to find some food for sale, won't they, for vegetarians?
well, yes. I mean,
It's a
there
meaty
are
meat.
it is a meat, and the north they have a lot of beef. So especially the beef is very common there.
Okay. So maybe
But
take some
but
snacks.
there is also, of course, the cabbage soup, for example, our caldo verde and other. But it's an area that we eat a lot of meat. Yes, and
There might be a bit of chorizo lurking in the caldo verde even as well. You've got to be careful there, I think. All right.
yes, caldo verde, but you have to be careful not with chorizo. Yeah.
Yes, the chorizo submarine lurking
But
in
the sopa de legumes, for example, the vegetable
Yes.
soup,
Yeah.
migas, for example, migas. It's a mixture of beans and bread and cabbage or other vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
So migas, of course, and the salads. But a salad sometimes can be very plain, just lettuce and tomato, right? But
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I had migas myself on Wednesday, and you
Mhm.
could have quite a nice vegetarian meal, I think. Batatas fritas con migas y salada mista, on the side. That'd be a pretty good meal, wouldn't it?
Yes, that is a good option. Yeah, a good
Yes,
option.
okay. We have questions, as you might expect, with the marafonas here. Sorry, what does marafonas mean? let's not
You
go
made
there.
it up.
I
Matrafonas.
see it's on her sash. It's on her. I don't know why I said that. It's on her sash there, marafonas. Now, what we need to know, says Fiona, why the cross-dressing? It's not cross-dressing, it's matrafonas. What's the history? Is there a history that you can share with us about this tradition?
With the tradition of matrafonas.
Yeah.
Well,
It's as old as time.
because it all started many years ago. I'm not sure when, but many years ago.
Yes.
When men wanted to have fun, right? Men wanted to celebrate carnival,
Yes.
and everything they had. They wouldn't go to a shop and buy a costume because that was not a tradition. I mean, a long time ago, they didn't have enough money to go, and there was no costume to buy. So
Yes.
they would just put on his wife. So a man would put on his wife's clothes,
Yeah.
and his wife's makeup and everything.
Yes.
Just to be funny, just to be funny. So that started as just because it was the only thing they could grab easily to make a kind of a mask for them.
Yes.
A funny way to go out in the street and make people laugh, right? So
It's funny,
that
isn't it?
was
Because like men have done this forever, haven't they? Dressed up as women, dressed up as babies, dressed up
Yeah.
as monks, priests. It's like it just it's cosplay, isn't it? And it's as
yeah,
old
but
as
nowadays it's easy to go to a shop and buy a costume or make a costume yourself. Some people
Exactly.
also make a costume.
Oh, while
But
we're on that subject, Filomena, where can I get a Portuguese flag mankini?
a flag what?
I've set myself up. When I get 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to do a show in a mankini, and I thought it would
Oh, a
be
mankini. Okay.
yes, I thought it might be right to do it in a Portuguese mankini, half green, half red. Have you ever seen a man in a Portuguese mankini, or would that be a disrespect of the flag?
Well, I think I've never seen a Portuguese mankini, but
Now you're going to see him everywhere.
maybe
Someone mentioned it.
maybe you can find one in a Chinese shop, maybe.
Yeah,
or
that's the
a
place to go.
Chinese shop, or maybe in those shops that mainly in the Algarve. There are also in Lisbon, I think, The
You know what?
the one that is Força Portugal, I think, or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those official Portuguese uh, T-shirts and things like that.
May
I can't
could you?
remember the names.
Yeah, you might. I might need your help if you could give me the translation of "Olá, bom dia." Queria mankini de Portugal. All right.
Yeah.
If anyone can help with that, but you're right about the Chinese shop tip because there are huge Chinese. There's one massive one in Caldash.
Yes, and they have everything.
There'll be a section, won't there? I'll walk down the back of the shop into the
Mhm.
mankini section. There'll be one of every kind. There'll be a
Yes,
American
I
flag,
think
British flag,
probably it's easier to find it there.
and it'll be like €2 or something like that. So I'm a bit concerned about the quality and build.
You might end it up with nothing.
With trouble. Nobody should have to see that first thing. Okay, what's this? I'm guessing there is nothing official. About
No.
Morning, Stephen. Good morning to you. Carl, how long after your CEF appointment and payment? I didn't wear the Portuguese mankini to the CEF appointment. I think that'll be very inappropriate. Okay, asking for a friend. So I paid for it straight away, Owen. Well, within a day or two, they
Yes,
adjust.
you have a reference number to pay and things like that, right?
Let me proudly show you my WABC card that is now in. I don't have to carry my Portuguese, my British passport around like I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Yes.
Look,
Now you just show that
is.
card. Yeah, muito bem. Parabéns, Carlitos. Parabéns.
Lovely. A terrible photo though, and obviously not wearing the mankini in that picture.
What a shame.
The card did take a little while to come. I think the card took about 4 weeks, possibly, but that's not the end of the world, is it? I was just keen to get it, and I had to.
You have already waited for so long.
Exactly.
A few more weeks.
Yep.
It's okay.
Kate tells us that dressing up as women is a tradition in the British Army as well. Maybe they were about. I just think men. It's just the male mind, isn't it? It's not so much a women thing, is it? Men seem to want to do. I've enjoyed it as a pantomime dame, I have to say. So there comes a time, I guess, in every man's life when he wants to dress up as a vicar, monk, woman, or baby, or some other costume other than his daily costume. This has been so much fun this morning. We're coming towards the end of the show. If you've got any quick questions about the language or the culture here, please put them in the chat. Algarve Laura is here as well with a round of applause. I'm not sure why. Maybe just generally speaking for us this morning. Vickers and Tarts, yes, absolutely. So far, I find the actual names of places the most difficult to understand when said by a Portuguese person. More practice is needed. I think you're practicing rather than them. They've been practicing all their life. Okay, and this is the speed at which Portuguese is spoken, isn't it, Filomena? Could we have? May we have a phrase or two to say? Desculpa, it's devagar, or how can we ask people to repeat or slow down what they're saying?
You can say, pode falar mais devagar, por favor.
Sim.
Ok. Pode falar mais
devagar. It's a really good phrase.
Pode falar mais devagar, por favor.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I think this is a very important phrase to have in your phrase book because it develops the conversation, doesn't it? You're signaling to the other person that you're foreign and you are keen to speak Portuguese, but you might need them to slow down a little bit. Pode falar mais devagar, por favor. Excellent.
Although what usually happens is the person speaks slower for 30 seconds.
Yes, of course.
And then they forget about it and they start again.
That's right.
In the usual speed.
Yeah. So then you just have to say.
But at least for 30 seconds you have a slower.
Exactly. Kate, great to see you here this morning. Most bagpipes are played with bellows under the arm rather than the loud Scottish version and a much more melodic. How very dare you? That's going to be offensive, isn't it, to a few of us Scottish listeners, and not as loud. What with the matrafones? Does the winner get a ram?
No,
certainly not on that occasion. Folks, if I've missed anything, please let me know. Oh, Capricorn Chris is here. Smash that like button, says T. Capricorn Chris. Hola, bon dia. How do I say I'm learning Portuguese? Please explain slowly. That was earlier on, and that's pretty much the same as what we've just said.
Estou a aprender português.
Yeah.
Right. Estou a aprender português. Por favor, Yeah, you can say, por favor. You can say, diga mais devagar ou fale mais devagar.
Diga is
Mais
such a good
devagar.
phrase. It's
Diga.
a good
Yeah,
word as
yeah,
well, isn't
yeah.
it? Diga. And that is what
So,
people will say
estou
to
a
you when
aprender
you.
português, por favor, diga mais devagar.
There you go. I'm going to.
I said it too quickly, right? Estou
What?
a aprender português. Estou a aprender português, por favor, diga mais devagar.
That's going into the chat for you as well,
Yeah.
Chris. Good question.
Estou a aprender português.
Yeah.
Por favor, diga mais devagar ou fale mais devagar.
There are some great basics there. Fantastic this morning. We're talking more. We're going back a little bit to the Caretos here. Filomena from Antonio. You'll have the Caretos de Salsas there. They will
Yes.
bring. So they're touring, aren't they? What a lovely thing that is for those guys.
Well,
And they
caretos, they have been everywhere in the world. They have been in Dubai. They have been in France. They have been in lots of different places. Because
they've got to go to Jamaica as well because they look Jamaican too, don't they? With their red, gold, and green as well. Are those outfits from pagan cultures welcoming the fertility of spring? Yeah, they're
Yes.
sort of beating back the dark, aren't they? We're
Yes,
out of
yeah.
the winter, and we've got some lead in our pencil ready for the spring as well.
Yeah, the fertility of spring. Yes.
And
And
we're going
also
to demonstrate
the
it.
shaking of the gulls.
Shaking of the bells on the bottom as well. I think I'm going to have my own set of bells back here at base here this spring. James, you said that like a good thing. Bagpipes can sometimes be an instrument of torture. Kate's not a fan, I think. Featuring all Celtic influenced folk music, including Brittany, Northwest Spain, Ireland, Northumbria. It's down the coast, isn't it? The Celtic coast. Traditionally, the Caretos were a single man that would attack single girls, hitting them with their bells and belts. So they've kind of toned that down a little bit for the modern age, which is good. The Caretos are very similar to the Val d'Iliavo character. That's also on the Gumper map. So let's have a look at a few of these now as well. Thank you so much, Andy, for your excellent work over there. And let's have a look at what's happening this weekend as well. So there's this one. That's the Festa Festa Bocco in Vagos. Up there, yeah, past near Iliavo.
Ilhavo.
Oh,
it has an accent. You might not see it, but it has an accent
I
on the
know,
eye.
and I'm just
Ilhavo.
sometimes you get into a habit, don't you? Iliavo. There you go.
Yeah.
Not Iliavo. Okay, Iliavo and Vagos.
A night of Fado, yeah.
Oh, this is I was going back to Vagos there.
Fados. That is Fados.
Fado, a night of Fado, Noite of Fados there in Palhaça, which is a cool place as well. And then we've got Anadia. We've got traditional food from Pareiro. If you fancy
Frango, not galinha, but frango.
fancy some delicious home-cooked traditional food of Portugal, whether a whole suckling pig for a party, a rack of ribs. The ribs are good in the barrada as well. I think that's probably broa bread, isn't it, rather than boa bread?
Broa, yes.
Proper fries, desserts, even drinks, ordered by the 10th of February and collect from the old primary school in Pereiro. Now, isn't this great? You can pick up the traditional favourites. They'll be advertised on a poster like this. You make your order and then you pick them up. Now, I've been embarrassed in the past. I've just tried to turn up at places to ask for food. And sometimes you do have to order in advance, don't you? And that's a great test of your Portuguese and a way to adjust to the culture there. So make sure you order in advance with many of these things. And finally, back to the Melhada Carnival as well. The best carnival, says Andy there, I think, ranks as one of the best in Portugal. That's quite a claim, isn't it? Don't they all say that? Don't they all say that?
Yes. Yeah. For example, in Madeira, on the island of Madeira, there is also a huge carnival parade every year. And lots of people fly to Madeira now to see the parades. Yeah.
Incredible, huh? And that's going to continue, isn't it? With Portugal's rising notoriety around the world, these touristic events are going to just be more and more visited, I suspect. This is where to go to see the wonderful work that Andrew's been doing. And please add your own as well on the Gumper map there. It's a great facility set up by Sarah and populated very regularly by Andy, by our very own by Randy. Rack of ribs. Yummy. Okay, so their words, not mine there. Okay, about the best in Portugal. Fair enough. Anything else to tell us in how to prepare for the upcoming carnival? We should keep fit. We should follow Coach Turner's advice, right? We're going to limber up and warm up.
Yeah, you can dress up as well. And you can dress up and then come and see the parades and have fun.
Yeah, bon dia, late to the party as usual. You're still very welcome here. And Sandy,
Better late than never.
absolutely. Bon dia, Filomena. Comigo, contigo, y consigo, as we spoke yesterday, was with me, with you, and with you. Formal. There you go. I use that now, and contigo down the cafe this morning with a friend's suggestions. There's another meaning of consigo.
Yes, there is.
What's that?
Consigo can be I am able to do something. The verb conseguir, the verb, I'm going to write it. Conseguir is, I usually explain the opposition between conseguir and poder. Both can be translated as can, the verb can, but they are a bit different in Portuguese. Poder is just the possibility of doing something or the permission to do something. But the conseguir is can, but in the sense of being able to overcome something hard, something difficult. So, for example, you could say consigo aprender português.
What an excellent application.
Consigo aprender português, which means I can learn Portuguese even being difficult, right?
That is triumphant, isn't it? Yes, I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yes. So yes. that consigo can also, consigo can also be the verb. I can, I am able to, I manage to. Yeah.
There you go. And that was for you, Chris. Estou a aprender português, por favor, diga mais devagar. And conseguir is the verb.
Conseguir is the verb. Yeah.
That's what you were talking about there. Thank you.
Not in that sentence, okay?
No. That's sorry. That was meant to be two separate entries. Thank you, Sandy, for popping in and saying hi. Right, really enjoyed this stream. Me too, Gerard. You're all amazing. But I need to go. Bon dia, everyone. I think we're at that stage of the show. Carl Munson, you look particularly amused today. Well, of course, because
Friday.
Always.
We are always amused, aren't we, Carl?
We do. It doesn't take much, does it? And here we are. We've been laughing for an hour now. So I've got to go and rest my own rack of ribs here because it begins to hurt after a while. The Portuguese have a sparkle in their communities that money can't buy. What a beautiful note to end on. And you know what? I'm going to show you a bit of partying and a firework display after we've said goodbye to Filomena this morning. An invisible energy with visible effects through their heritage and traditions. Well said, Simon. That's beautiful. Good morning and have a good weekend from that Facebook user, simply known as FU. Let's say thank you so much. Muito obrigado, querida.
De nada, querido Carl.
Carlitos.
Carlitos. Querido Carlitos.
I suspect. Can we have a few matrafonas photos when we see you next time?
Bom, eu não vou a Torres Novas. I'm not going to Torres Novas because I am in the parade in Miranda. I am part of the parade in Miranda. So
yes, of course.
I can't go anywhere else this year. I have to be in Miranda because I'm going to be in the parade. If you want to see me in the parade in Miranda, you have to come to Miranda do Corvo.
Well, that's your problem with Carnival in Portugal is you have to choose one, don't you? Because they're all happening at the same time.
But you have two choices. You have the Sunday, and then you have the Tuesday. So you can always go to one place on Sunday. Another day on Tuesday, you can see two different carnavais. Carnavais, the plural of carnaval.
There you go. Okay.
Podem ver dois carnavais, no domingo e na terça-feira.
There you go. And if you want to learn one-to-one trips for Brits at gmail.com and also to find out about what tours, we didn't even talk about the tours today. We'll do that next time, Filomena, for the 2023 tours. That's the way to get in touch with Filomena. We're going to party our way out now. Thank you so much, Filomena. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Here she goes. That's what we can see. see Pete doing? Dancing like that. And you know what, folks? We're going to finish with a firework finale, courtesy of the locality of Miranda Do Corvo. This was their firework party that was the climax of the San Sebastian Festa. So this is for you. Have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana. Enjoy the fireworks, and we'll see you tomorrow evening if you're in the United States. Me and Mrs. M will be staying up till the early hours of Sunday morning to be with you for Hello America. This is Portugal. And don't forget, we'll be back on Monday. And of course, the new Portugal Business Club starts on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.